So I have the pleasure of introducing some of our brilliant community partners who are going to take you through their journeys in the Exchange project. Exchange was an AHRC-funded research project focused on community-led practice delivered over the past year. There are many partners involved, as you can see up here, and lived experience to shape research and stories that museum partners tell. Participants who worked with 3 of the museums are here today to share their journeys and how they challenged and expanded established museum representations of diaspora experiences. Firstly, you'll hear about Glasgow Life-based project from Dr. Tareq Abdullah and Dr. Saif Khan from Bangladesh Association Glasgow, and from Shahana Khalik Lion and Seha Mahmood, who are standing in for Malini Chakrabarti, who unfortunately couldn't make it, for a project called Our Shared Cultural Heritage. Their presentations focus on the people and emotions involved in their research. I'm going to hand, first of all, over to the guys from Bangladesh Association. Let's go.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Tareq Abdullah
And I'm Saif Khan.
from Bangladesh Association Glasgow and Glasgow Life. We are going to talk about people. And it is people and their connection to object, people and their connection to other people, and also people and their stories.
Our story begins with this plaque. What you see is a cast iron plaque that was discovered in the Stopcross Quay in Glasgow sometime in the last century. We do not exactly know when it was found, but it was certainly made in Glasgow. If you look at it, you'll see that it's in 2 languages, one in English and another you probably don't know anything at all. In fact, I come from that language-speaking country, but still, we don't know one of the words that mentions there. So, when you read this plaque, it says, Lascars only. What makes you think about that? What do you think about the dynamics of the relationship between the 2 cultures there? Doesn't make you feel a bit uncomfortable, doesn't it?
It can tell about discrimination, it can tell about alienation, and that made us to search further. And we searched stories which are not heard, stories which are not told, but is a people who are the part of the story, who are the content of the story, and who also tells the story. We found the book written by Aaron Jafar and about the mutiny of the Lascars. We searched further. We found the articles of Marika Sherwood about the struggles against discrimination in Britain about Lascars. And there are many other articles and stories behind.
As Tareq mentions that we went into different spheres of academia in order to search for the explanation or about this object that we discovered. But one of the things that we discovered was that when we went to the archives, we found these photos, and we also found some fantastic video clips. You're now seeing Glasgow, 1922, on a Sunday morning. Church service is over, and wealthy Glaswegians with their fine attire are walking down the streets. But our photographer is attracted by some strange people. They almost look like aliens. He's so intrigued, he drags them back into his photography and takes photos, and look at them, looking so dapper, smart, yet also feels a bit out of place, don't they?
Past is not always glorious. We have to accept that. And accepting that, we build our purpose. Our purposes are to build empathy for people, to build connection between people, and to bring new perspective about the present day for the people.
Our search for Lascars, I didn't know anything about myself, about Lascars at all, but it started with some home discovery and some home truth. Lo and behold, we discovered a Lascar-in-law in my own family. It makes us think where these people come from. And majority of the people, like this gentleman over here, comes from a place called Sylhet, which is the southeastern part of Bangladesh.
And before they became Lascars, who were they? They were the people who used to work in the tea garden, who were boatmen, used to ride small boats, who were farmers, and it's the industrialization and the colonization that made us become Lascar. They lost their job when steamship came and the steam engine came, when the railway came. They lost their job and they had no other choice to take job in ocean ship and traveled far distant land in the UK.
They had to take up menial jobs in the ships. They were the chefs, they were the cleaners, they were the woodcutters. They did all the dirty work.
And we recreated some photos. On the left-hand side, the photos which were taken more than 100 years ago. The Lascars, the working class people, struggling hard. On the right-hand side is a present-day people of the same country, from the same origin, who plays them in the Lascars' role. These are the artists who actually played a drama, who staged the drama in the township. How did they feel like? What was in their mind when they played this role? We'll come to that later.
We created the drama from the stories that we discovered during our journey, the strands that we picked up in our journey, and created this drama, and we staged it deliberately inside the hull of the historic Glenelly in Glasgow. We felt it's an old ship, maybe some of the Lascars probably had worked there.
So I myself written the drama, and Saif was playing as a role of the narrator in the drama. But there are also other people whom we asked what they felt like.
But he will never get lost.
লস্কর অন্ধি শুধু লস্কর ঘুমায় রাস্তার মোড়ে
The drama itself is 45 minutes long. It will be available in the YouTube and also in our website and the social media. But we only showed 30 seconds of the drama. And the people who played the role of the Lascars said,
while rehearsing for this play, I was able to turn into my character Kudus. This allowed to understand better what a Lascar's life was like. Playing this character was very nostalgic for me, as when I first moved to Europe, I had to work just as hard as Lascars did.
And the second Lascars echoed the same.
I am Lascar too, who came to this country for a better future. And this continued with another Lascar.
For me, it felt as if I was carrying a ship loaded with burden of hopes, dreams and survival of those who relied on me, who led his fellows into the unknown foreign land. And there was a seminar which was participated by the scholars, academicians, historians, museum curator, and the community members. We shared our stories, we shared our experience, and then a remarkable thing happened.
Our journey began with people's relation to objects, and then we discovered people's relation with stories, and then it became relation with people. All the speakers in the seminar contributed their remuneration to a fund to help a latter-day Lascar who was struggling, and he has set up a nice small grocery shop for his family. and he's named it in the same shipping line that he used to work for.
It's a small help from the scholars and academicians and the speakers of the conference from this part of the world made a big change of a late generation Lascar's life on the other part of the world. So as Saif said, we started this journey with a plaque, an object. We found the stories, we found out the people and their connection. At the end, it ended up with a humanitarian effort. Finally,
we'd like to end with one of the final statements from one of the participants of the drama. Solomon opened my eyes, that's a character that he played, opened my eyes to the unknown but long and proud history of sailors from Bangla Delta in the UK. More broadly, the shared history of Britain and its colonies, the demise of merchant navy, alienation, discrimination, and isolation felt by immigrants here and across the globe for all times. Judging from the story headlines these days, we're still there, aren't we?
and here we are. These Lascars are the victim of 400 years of colonization of that part of the world. And our next speaker, who's supposed to be Malini, but she's not here for an emergency reason, but Shahana and her team is going to reverse it back, what we call decolonization. She's going to tell about her story, her journey, her experience, about her work, about decolonization.
Please welcome her.